everyone, welcome to Saturday Storytime with me, Bethany Akeroyd. Kaylee has made these choices for this week's story time because she's been watching Magic School Bus a lot during her free times. And so these are some of her favorite stories, and I hope that you enjoy it and that it inspires you to go out and explore and find out something new, just like Miss Frizzle kind of encourages all of her kids in her class. So, Kaylee, what's the first book we're going to read today?
How to Make Water Green.
Okay. So, the first book is Magic School Bus at Waterworks by Joanna Cole and illustrated by Degen. Our class has really bad luck. This year, we got Miss Frizzle, the strangest teacher in school. We don't mind Miss Frizzle's strange dresses or her strange shoes. It's the way she acts that really gets us. Miss Frizzle makes us grow green mold on old pieces of bread. She makes us build clay models of garbage dumps, draw diagrams of plants and animals, and read 5 science books a week. Oh my goodness. Is it growing mold? How old?
I like your necklace.
Thank you. It's like, are they growing mold? Look, there's some of the dioramas that they do at school. Our classes go on. Other classes go to trips to the zoo or even the circus. Guess where we went on our class trip? The Waterworks. Wonder what they're going to do at the Waterworks. And to get ready for the trip, Miss Frizzle made us spend the whole month in the library. We had to find out exactly how our city gets its water, down to the very last drop. We also had to collect 10 interesting facts about water. Water fact number 1 by Wanda. About 2/3 of your body is made up of water.
That's Keisha.
Oh, no, that's Wanda.
Wanda?
Yeah, that's Wanda.
Who's Keisha?
Oh, well, thank you. I think that's Keisha.
That's Wanda.
Oh, that's Wanda.
Oh, so that's Keisha.
In the parking lot, the old school bus was waiting. To our surprise, there was no bus driver. Instead, the Frizz herself was behind the wheel.
I love Batman's wheels on my...
Water fact number 2 by Tim. Water is the only substance that is found in the form of liquid, a solid, and a gas in nature.
Tim?
Yeah, that's Tim. Liquid is water. Solid ice is a solid. And the gas, water vapor. It's pretty cool about water, huh? At the end of the block, the bus went into a dark tunnel. When we came out, something amazing happened. The bus looked a lot different. We looked a lot different too. Everyone was wearing a scuba diving outfit. Even Miss Frizzle.
Whoa.
Whoa, that bus does look different, huh? Wonder what they're going to find out in the water. What's on that bus?
Octopus.
Octopus. Octopi.
I know that. I don't feel good.
Okay. Miss Frizzle was the only one who didn't seem to notice the change. She just drove on in the middle of the bridge. In the middle of the bridge, the bus started to rise. Wonder what's going on with the bus.
Mom, after story time, can we try to make my old castle?
Yeah, we can do that. The bus started to rise into the air. It went up and up into a cloud. Oh.
And look at this, he's in a droplet.
I know. Water fact number 3 by Shirley. There is water in the air you're breathing. You can't see it because it's the form of invisible gas called water vapor. When water evaporates, it changes from a liquid to a gas and rises into the air. You think that's what happened to the bus? Mm-hmm. It rose with the water vapor. Then the Frizzle did the weirdest thing ever. She told everyone to get out of the bus. The kids didn't want to go, but Frizzy threatened to give extra homework if we didn't. Some of the kids stuck their heads out of the cloud and looked down. There were mountains down there, and the cloud was going higher every minute.
And Mommy?
Mm-hmm.
Look, Arnold.
I know, I see Arnold.
Kind of cool.
It was getting colder, too. All around us, drops of water were beginning to form. And as the drops got bigger, we got smaller.
Ooh. This is the book about when
Water.
one of the kids wanted to have rain.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's read. Water fact number 4, by Flory. Clouds are water. The higher up you go, the cooler the air is. When water vapor rises, the cool air makes the vapor form to droplets, which hang in the air as mist. This is a cloud. Before long, each kid was the size of a raindrop. In fact, each kid was in a raindrop. The drops began to fall. Miss Frizzle's class was raining. We fell into a clear mountain stream and began to flow down the mountainside. Water fact number 5. Did you know that all the water in the earth is used over and over? Here's how it happens. Water evaporates from lakes, rivers, and oceans and forms the clouds in the sky. Then returns to the earth, again as rain or snow. This process is called the water cycle. Is that what we're learning about today?
Mike, can I touch your necklace?
Mm-hmm.
I like the flowers.
I know. Is there butterflies on it too? Yeah.
And Mom, and then like tomorrow, can I play it on?
Maybe. We'll see. Okay. In no time, we reached the reservoir, which holds the water for our city. We were going into the water purification system. This class trip was not so boring after all.
Why?
I know. Well, are they learning about the water cycle firsthand and how the water works?
We saw one.
That's right. Okay, sorry. Some water words by Dorothy Ann. A reservoir is a place where water is stored. When you purify water, you clean it.
There's Dorothy Ann.
Yeah, there's Dorothy Ann. You're right. See? And all those workers and everyone else just making sure that it is the way it needs to be. Okay, the water in the reservoir was pretty dirty. We were covered with dirt and mud. Follow me to the mixing basin, shouted Miss Frizzle. In the mixing basin, a clumping substance called alum was added to the water. Alum forms clots, and all the dirt and muck into globs.
And even eggs.
Yeah, so there's the alum. It's added to the water as they're going, and it's starting to grab onto all the dirty water or dirt that's in the water and glob it up, and it's starting to fall down. Onto the settling basin, ordered the Frizz. There, the glop stuck to the bottom, and the clean water flowed off the top. Now, we were on our way to the filter. See, all the dirt that was in the water is now glopped onto the alum, and it's there, and all the clean water is going off to its next place. Water fact number 6 by Ralph. Less than 1% of all the water on Earth is fresh water that we can drink. The rest is salty water in the oceans or frozen water in the glaciers or ice caps. This was a sand and gravel filter. It takes out any impurities still in the water.
Look, there's egg.
I know. We were impurities, so we couldn't get through. Luckily, Miss Frizzle showed us a special way around the filter. When the water came out of the filter, it was sparkling clean. And that all that water that's in the filtration system, it's going through the gravel and the sand. So anything that's impure in the water gets stuck here, and the end result is very fresh and clean water.
I'm gonna go get some water.
Okay, you gonna get some water? Okay, perfect. All right. Class, these levels of sand and gravel strain tiny bits of dirt left in the water, even the most of the disease germs. Still another water word by Dorothy Ann. Impurities are dirt, dust, and disease germs. Anything that should not be in the glass of water. Yep. So, filtration for those impurities keeps us safe and makes sure that we have clean water to drink that doesn't make us sick. In the pipe from the filter to the storage tank, a chemical called chlorine was added to the water. Chlorine kills any of the remaining disease germs. A trace of fluoride is also added to keep kids from getting so many cavities. The water had to come all the way through the purification system. We thought our class trip was over, but Frizzy had other ideas. Everyone to the storage tank, she shouted. See, there's chlorine being added and fluoride. This is, again, another way to make sure that we're staying healthy with our drinking water. And the fluoride helps our teeth be nice and strong when we can't make it to the dentist sometimes. Oh, water fact number 7 by Molly. Clear water is not always clean water. It may still contain disease germs that can make you sick. So you always need to be careful before you drink some stuff. All right, before we knew what was happening, we were swooshed out of the tank and into a pipe that carries the water to our city. So they went from the storage tank, and now they're going to the pipelines. I wonder where that pipe is going to take them. Okay. Oh, another water fact. Number 8 by Amy Jean. The first pipes in North America were made out of hollowed out logs. Today, pipes are made out of concrete, metal, even plastic. Let's see where the class went to. Then we went to the water mains and the pipes that run under the city streets. Right. As Miss Frizzle's about to tell us, the force of water as it moves through the pipe is called water pressure. Go with the flow, kids. So that's how it's water pressure is pushing them where they need to go. A smaller pipe carried us into a building, and we went up the pipes in the walls. So they went from one big pipe to a smaller pipe to an even smaller pipe to get the water to their building. Water fact number 9 by Arnold. Water pressure is usually so strong you can't keep water from coming out from an open faucet with your finger, no matter how hard you press it. Try it next time as an experiment. When a 7th grader turned on the faucet in the girls' room, we came splashing out. The building was our school. We were back. We were our regular size again. We were dressed in normal clothes. Except for Miss Frizzle, of course. Would you be a little surprised if someone just came out like water droplets?
I'm filling my water.
All right. Here's some facts to save water. Turn off the faucets when not using. Put water-saving devices on a shower head. Limit water. Flush by putting a full bottle of water in the toilet tank. And fix leaks right away. Also, water fact number 10 by John. For every gallon used, the average city loses more than 2 cups of water because of leaks.
I'm gonna go do it.
I'm gonna go see what they're doing with your water. Okay. Back in the classroom, Miss Frizzle acted as nothing strange had happened. She started feeding the class lizard, and she put us to work right away. We had to make a chart showing how water works in the homes and buildings of the city. That makes sense. Even though they went on that wonderful adventure, they still got to learn. Yeah, I'm going to turn the page. When Arnold drew a picture of a kid inside a raindrop, Miss Frizzle said, "Where do you get these crazy ideas, Arnold?"
And there's another page.
I know there's another page. We'll get to that in just a minute. All right. This is the other page that Kaylee was telling you about, where they did all their diagrams.
There's one page that has Miss Frizzle and teeth in her shoes.
Mm-hmm.
They're scary.
Yeah, they were telling us all about this. Here is how our water chart turned out. That was a picture of their water chart. They say, number 1, water evaporates from lakes, rivers, and oceans. Then clouds. 2, clouds to vapor to form in the sky. 3, rain falls to the earth. Some falls in streams. 4, some streams run into the city's reservoir. 5, mixing in the mixing basin. Dirt and mud sticks to alum clumps. 6, in settling basin, clumps of alum and dirt sink to the bottom. 7, sand and gravel filter out to take out the last impurities. 8, in a pipe in the storage tank, fluoride is added for strong teeth. Chlorine is added to kill the last disease germ. 9, pure water is held in the storage tank. 10, water mains to carry the water under the city streets. And 11, to our homes and buildings. Later that day, we saw the old bus in the school parking lot. How did it get there? Did we only imagine going through the water supply system? Would we ever find out what really happened?
My switch to page.
I'm going. Miss Frizzle says that we'll be studying volcanoes next, which makes us all nervous. After all, a teacher like Miss Frizzle, anything can happen.
Let's turn page.
I'm going to turn page. Where do you think they're going to go next? Are they going to go through a volcano? Yeah.
What's on her shirt?
Well, they're...
Her dress.
What's on Miss Frizzle's dress next? Let's see what's on Miss Frizzle's dress. Is that ketchup?
And
Alright.
mustard.
Yeah, the end. All right, we ready for the next one?
No, we just put down my water.
All right, come here. You gonna tell us what the next book is?
It's called Inside Arnold.
Inside Arnold. How about it is the magic school bus inside the human body. You ready to learn? Okay, again, by Joanna Cole, illustrated by Bruce Degen. Okay. It all began when Miss Frizzle showed our class a film strip about the human body. We knew we were in trouble. We knew trouble was about to start because we knew Miss Frizzle was the strangest teacher in school.
Again.
I know. We're going to learn about ourselves. This should interest you, Arnold. Oh, your wondrous
Mom,
body.
can I sit on your lap?
You can try it, yeah. But I'm going to have to show it so the thing's going to get in your way, okay?
Okay.
The very next day, the Frizz made us do an experiment on our own body. Then this is their experiment. You're going to see your own cells. Most of your cells are small. Do not get that. So you can't see them without a microscope. Gently scrape the inside of your cheek with a toothpick. Stir the end of the toothpick in water in the slide. Add a drop of iodine solution to color the cells and look inside under a microscope. You'll see your cells. That's their nice little experiment that they're able to see the inside of themselves. Your body is made of cells. By Rachel. Your body seems to be one piece, but actually it's made of trillions of tiny pieces called cells. When she announced that we were going on a class trip to the Science Museum, we were going to see an exhibit about how our bodies get energy from the food we eat. Sounds pretty interesting.
But where we did science?
Well, let's see. Different kinds of cells have different jobs, by Gregory. Lung cells help you breathe. Muscle cells help you move. And brain cells help you think.
And my brain cells help me think about we could make me a little roller castle for one of my rollers.
Yes. Well, let's get through story time first before we go into our next projects, okay? All right. The trip started out like any other trip. We rode to the museum in the old bus, and along the way, we stopped at the park for lunch.
Yummy.
Yeah.
I wish I had those.
Yeah, the cheesy Weezies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mouth has 1,000 taste buds by Arnold. Different parts of the mouth have taste buds that are best for detecting different flavors. New research shows that taste buds are arranged like this. Okay, you ready, guys? They got it, right. So sweet is at the tip of your tongue. Salty is at the sides. Sour is right back there. And bitter is right in the back of your throat. Did you know that the middle of your tongue has no taste buds? Did you know that? When it was time to go, everyone got on the bus. Everyone but Arnold. He was still at the picnic table, dreaming and eating a bag of cheesy Weezies. Everybody's going on the bus. And there's Arnold, just chilling, eating those cheesy Weezies.
You didn't put here.
Well, I did. It's on either side, so it's sweet, salty, sour, bitter. Your body needs good food by Carmen. For a high energy, good growing power, eat lots and lots of whole grain, bread, cereal, and pasta, fresh fruits and vegetables, and eat a smaller amount of milk and milk products, and not too much junk food. And a little bit of meat, poultry, eggs, fish, and fats. A science word by Dorothy Ann. Digestion comes from the word that means to divide.
Is that Dorothy Ann?
No, that's someone else. I think it's Rachel. When food is digested, it is divided into smaller and smaller parts because our tummy breaks down everything. All right, now remember, Arnold was sitting at the table by himself. "Hurry up, Ronald," called Miss Frizzle. She'd reached for the ignition key, but instead, she pushed a strange little button nearby. At once, we started to shrinking and spinning through the air. From inside, we couldn't see what was happening. All we knew is that we landed suddenly.
And
So look, spins and spins and spins. Where did the bus go?
And you understand.
Oh no, did the bus shrink as small as a cheesy Weezy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the bus got eaten by Arnold? Do you think Arnold ate the bus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too. And then we were going down a dark tunnel. We had no idea where we were. But as usual, Miss Frizzle knew. And she said we were inside a human body, going down the esophagus, the tube that leads from the mouth to the stomach. Most of us were too upset about leaving Arnold behind to pay much attention.
Want you to show them something? Oh, guys, look, mine.
That's your mouth, and it goes down to your esophagus that goes into your tummy?
Yeah.
We're learning about that? All right, food goes to your stomach through your esophagus. The food does not just fall down. It is pushed by muscle actions the way toothpaste is squeezed out of a tube. That's why you can swallow when you're upside down.
Squeeze.
We're now passing into the stomach, said Miss Frizzle. It wasn't quiet in here. The walls of the stomachs moved in and out, churning and mashing food into a thick liquid.
I want to go play with them.
Okay, you can go play. Why does your stomach growl? Sometimes your stomach churns when it doesn't have that much food in it. Then the gas in your stomach makes that gurgle sound. Miss Frizzle drove to the bottom of the stomach. We'll drive through the opening to the small intestine, she said. And there's poor Arnold. Not feeling too good. Do you think it's because he ate the bus and the bus was moving around in his tummy? I think so. The small intestines were coiled up in a hollow tube. The inner walls of the tube were covered with tiny fingers called villi. In the villi, there are tiny blood vessels. Food molecules are taken into those blood vessels, said Miss Frizzle. Once the food is in the blood, they travel over the body. We can feel ourselves getting smaller, and Miss Frizzle started to drive into one of the villi. She was going straight into a blood vessel. So getting smaller and driving into the villi that's in the stomach. Oh, sorry. Why are the intestines coiled up? By John. In an adult, the intestines are 7.5 meters or 25 feet long. If they were stretched out, a person would be as tall as a house. Another science word by Dorothy Ann. Blood vessels are tubes that carry blood. They are the pipelines running through your body. Now we were in the blood, but it did not look red. Blood is not just a red liquid, explained Miss Frizzle. Blood is made out of cells, floating in clear fluid. These cells look like red rubber saucers, everyone called out. Those are red blood cells, Miss Frizzle said. Red blood cells carry oxygen from the lungs to all the cells in the body. See? Here and there, white blood cells were busy destroying disease germs. White blood cells are like soldiers protecting your body from the enemies, said Miss Frizzle. Right, so there's the white blood cells. It comes up to a disease cell, covers it up, and it gets it out of your body too. Oh, and then there's also platelets are in your bloodstream along with the red blood cells. These help stop bleeding when you're cut. Yeah. What is blood made of? By Molly. A little more than half the blood is a yellow fluid called plasma. The rest of the blood is made out of floating cells and platelets. Why is the blood red? Without a microscope, blood looks red because there's so many red blood cells in it. Every drop of blood, there are 1 million red blood cells. What is blood for? By Ralph. Your blood is like a delivery system. It carries food and oxygen to your body cells and waste products away from the cells. Looking back, we saw white blood cell chasing the bus. We're safer with the red blood cells, kids, said Miss Frizzle. She reached for the handle that controlled the bus doors. Don't do that, we cried. But when did Miss Frizzle ever listen?
No. I never listened.
No. We were swept out from the bus and into the bloodstream. Everyone hit... Kaylee?
I got a Princess
I
Leia.
see that. Everyone hitch a ride, called the Fritz. Each kid grabbed a red blood cell as it went by. Our last glimpse was the bus when it went into a smaller blood vessel with the white blood cell right behind it.
Chasing.
Yeah, do you think the white blood cell is chasing the bus because it thinks that it doesn't need to be in Arnold's body?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The next thing we knew, we were flown into the heart. Inside the heart, there are 4 chambers, or 4 hollow spaces called chambers, said Mrs. F. Each chamber is a little pump. The 2 chambers on the right of the heart took in used blood from the body and pump it into the lungs.
My Princess Leia,
Yeah. In the lungs, the red cells pick up fresh oxygen.
Princess Leia, this ones.
Your heart is a pump by Flora. When the walls of the heart chamber squeeze together, they pump out the blood just the way you can squeeze water out of a plastic bottle. Your heart pumps used blood into the lungs to get fresh oxygen. From the lungs, our red blood cells carry us back to the heart. for story time?
Time.
Well, come here. Do you want to go get Daddy? Sorry, guys. Where did Daddy go? From the lungs, the red cells carry us back to the heart. This time, we were on the left side of the heart, the side that pumps fresh blood back into the body. Kids, it looks as if the red blood cells are on their way to the brain, said Miss Frizzle. Blood goes round and round by Michael. In less than a minute, your blood makes a trip all around your body. This is called circulation of the blood. One more science word by Dorothy Ann. Circulation. Yep. Comes from the word that means circle. The blood circulates or circles around your body. See, as they're going around the body, the next stop is the brain. When we reach the brain, we let go of the red blood cells and squeezed out of the blood vessel. It's hard to believe that this wrinkled gray blood was the control center of the body. So in the brain. What are they going to learn about in the brain? Your brain is always working by Alex. When you're sleeping, your brain controls your heartbeat, breathing, and other body functions. Miss Frizzle said that the brain is made of billions of busy nerve cells. They're constantly sending and receiving messages from the eyes, ears, muscles, and other parts of the body.
What? There's no words on our brain.
Yeah, there is.
No, there's not.
Our brain does a lot of stuff that we don't even know about. We left the head by climbing down the bones of the spine, and into the bones was the spinal cord of a thick bundle of nerve cells stretching from the brain. Smaller bundles of the nerve cells balanced off of each other, each side in the spinal cord. These carried nerve messages to all parts of the body. If You Want to Move a Muscle by Amy Jane. The motor area in the cortex of your brain sends out a message to move. This message travels down the spinal cord and through the nerves, controls the muscles. Yep. So the brain is in the spinal cord, controlling other parts of the body. We followed some nerves that went to the leg muscles. The leg muscles were working hard, and they needed a lot of energy. They used up a lot of food and oxygen from the blood. The heart was beating faster and carrying fresh blood to the muscle cells. Muscles Move Your Bones by Tim. Some muscles are attached by bones. These muscles contract, get shorter, and pull on the bones. That makes the bones move, and then you move. Yep. Where they're on the muscle. We entered a nearby blood vessel. The blood was moving so fast we were afraid we would lose each other. But at that moment, the school bus floated by. What a relief. We jumped in and went through the heart and lungs again, just the way we went before.
Into an open area.
Right back to the bus. When we emerged from the bloodstream, we were in a huge space. Where are we? Asked a kid. Miss Frizzle exclaimed, Children, we are in the nasal cavity. The what? We asked. Inside of the nose, said the Frizz. Suddenly we heard a deafening noise. It sounded like... Do you sneeze?
Achoo!
That's a good achoo. Yep.
Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
Oh, that's wonderful. But I think we're good. See where it's going to happen to the bus. Then we heard a choo!
Achoo!
What makes you sneeze? By Phoebe. If something is tickling the inside of your nose, the tickling signals in your brain. The tickling signals your brain. Your brain makes you take an extra big breath. That's when you say, ah. Then your brain makes your chest muscles squeeze your lungs. Air rushes at the speed of 100 miles an hour. That's when you say, chew. As they're getting ready to be sneezed out. A tremendous blast of air hit the bus at full force. We flew forward, spinning around and around. Oh, we're getting pushed out of Arnold's nasal cavity. Where is he going to land? We were going so fast we couldn't see anything, but we could tell we were getting bigger. And then, thud, we landed where we were, back at school. And there was Arnold in the school parking lot, blowing his nose. Arnold, we said, the trip was amazing. You should have been there. Were they in Arnold's body the whole time? Mm-hmm. Back in the classroom, it was business as usual. Miss Frizzle made us draw a chart of the human body for the bulletin board. Okay, you ready to see their chart? Pretty impressive human chart. You think you can make that? Yeah. Think you can make that by lying down and drawing stuff with your parents or grown-ups that are at your house? Mm-hmm. At last, everything was quiet in Miss Frizzle's class. Everything, of course, except for her dress. Oh, where do you think they might go next time? According to this. To the planets. That's a very rockety dress that Miss Frizzle's wearing. All right. Last book for today's story time. What's this one?
It's called Degen.
All right. It's called The Magic School Bus Inside the Earth.
Okay. The moon's going in my nose. Oh!
Yeah, I know. In Miss Frizzle's class, we'd been learning about animal homes. For almost a month, we were pretty tired of it, so everyone was happy when Miss Frizzle announced, today we're going to start something new. All in Miss Frizzle's classroom, all their dioramas, and things that they made about animal homes. Let's see what they're going to learn now. We're going to study about our Earth, said Miss Frizzle. She put us to work writing reports about Earth science. And for homework, she said, each person must find a rock and bring it to school. But the next day, almost everyone had an excuse.
Why?
I don't. Let's see, what were their excuses? I couldn't find any rocks. I found one, but my dog ate it. Your dog ate your rock? There's just some pretty elaborate excuses for not being able to find a rock. Where do rocks come from? By Wanda. Most of the solid part of Earth is made of great masses of rock. The smaller rocks that we collect are just broken off pieces of huge masses. Okay. Only 4 people had done the homework, and Phil was the only one who found a real rock.
He was the only person?
Yeah, looks like he was the only one that found a rock. Some of them might not have known what a rock is. I guess we'll have to go on a field trip and collect rocks, said Miss Frizzle. What kind of rocks do you think they're going to find? Okay. What are rocks made of? By Tim. Rocks are made out of minerals. Sometimes we see tiny specks of different colors in a rock. Sometimes you see shiny specks. These different specks are different minerals that make up the rock. You never know what will happen on a trip with Miss Frizzle. Her new dress was a trip in itself. At first, the old school bus wouldn't start, but we finally got on our way.
Because the mad school thing needs charging.
Yeah, do you see what's on Miss Frizzle's dress? Are they shovels? Do you think they're going to dig?
Yep.
When we came to the trip, all the kids wanted to get out of the bus, but suddenly the bus started to spin like a top. What sort of thing? That sort of thing doesn't happen in most classes. All right, let's see where they're going and why the bus is spinning. When the spinning finally stopped, some things had changed. We were all in new clothes. The bus had turned into a steam shovel, and there were shovels and picks for every kid in the class. Start digging, yelled Miss Frizzle. And we began to make a huge hole right in the middle of the field. The Earth Crust by John. The outside of the Earth is a shell of hard rock and soil. The shell is called the Earth's crust. Look, there's the bus. We're going to need a shovel.
Mommy, why do you want this one weird necklace?
Why not? What is soil? By Flory. Soil is made of ground up rock mixed with clay, bits of dead leaves, sticks, and small pebbles. Without rock, there will be no soil for plants and trees to grow in. It's a pretty interesting little fact.
And sad you, and no food, and you have a tummy.
Yeah, we wouldn't have all the wonderful things that grow without soil, huh? Before long, clunk, we hit rock. The Frizzle handed out jackhammers, and we began to break through the hard rock. There's always rock under you, by Shirley. Most of the rock in the Earth's crust is covered with soil or water, but if you dig deep enough, you will find rock. Wherever you are, standing or walking or floating on the Earth, there is rock under you. We had to get jackhammers out because there's big rocks they have to get through. Hey, these rocks have stripes, said a kid. Miss Frizzle exclaimed that each stripe was a different kind of rock. Yep, there's different kinds of rock. Let's see. They went from soil to sandstone to slate to limestone. Different layers make up rock. We chipped off pieces of rock for our class rock collection. These rocks are called sedimentary rocks. Class, said Miss Frizzle, there are often fossils in sedimentary rocks. How rock layers are formed by Molly. Millions of years ago, wind blew dust and sand into lakes and oceans. The dust and sand settled to the bottom in layers called sediment. Seashells formed the tops of the sediments too. Over time, the layers hardened into sedimentary rock we see today. A science word by Dorothy Ann. Sedimentary comes from the word that means to settle. Why are there fossils in the rock layers? By Phoebe. Sometimes prehistoric plant and animal die and are buried in the layers of mud, sand, and crushed shells, then turned into rock along with the layers. It becomes a fossil. So look at all those layers and see what kind of fossils are pushed down in that. Wouldn't you know it, just when we were finding lots of fossils, Miss Frizzle said, "Back to the bus, kids." Then we were driving along and we heard a rock crumbling underneath us. Down we went. Everything was pitch black. And we were falling. Oh, that's right.
And then
All right, let's see. When we landed with a bump, Miss Frizzle switched on the headlights. We had fallen into a hole of a giant limestone cave. The rainwater had been dripping down through the earth for ages, said Miss Frizzle. The water worn away this cave in the rock. Yeah, so caves are just big sections of rock that are worn away by water over time.
You know, there's gems on her.
Yeah, she's got gems on her outfit now. We wanted to stay for a while, but suddenly the bus sprouted a drill and began boring through the rock. Miss Frizzle shouted, "Follow that bus!" And we went down. See the rocks that are in the cave? Let's see. How are stalagmites and stalactites are formed? The shapes that look like cone and icicles are formed in caves by dripping water that contain tiny invisible bits of limestone. How to remember which is which? The word stalagmite has a G for ground. The word stalactite has a C for ceiling. Or, if you can also, for stalactite, it has to hold tight to the ceiling. Further down we went, the hotter it got. The rocks were harder too. These were rocks that are changed from one kind to another kind by heat and pressure, exclaimed the Frizz. Rocks that were changed are called metamorphic rocks. Another earth science word by Dorothy Ann. Metamorphic comes from the word that means to change. Limestone plus heat plus pressure plus time equals marble. If you ever think about marble, you can also think the toys that you have, or even countertops or statues is made out of marble.
Guys,
so limestone can go into marble.
Guys, my mommy let her have her marbles.
I did let you have my marbles. You're absolutely right.
Those big ones.
I know. Okay,
So cool.
They are so cool. All right, we went down even further towards the center of the earth. We hit rock that was formed billions of years ago from a pool of melted rock under the earth's surface. How igneous rocks were formed by Michael. Melted rock can be pushed through cracks of the earth's crust. When melted rock cools and hardens, it's called igneous rock. Still another earth science word by Dorothy Ann. Igneous comes from the word that means fire. The heat inside the earth is like fire and can melt rocks. We had dug all the way through the earth's crust, and it was so hot now that Miss Frizzle told us to get back on the bus. Pretty smart of Miss Frizzle, because it gets hotter and hotter the further you go. Okay. She stepped on the gas, and the bus started drilling. Soon we were actually inside the earth. It was hot, 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 and getting hotter and hotter as we zoomed towards the center. So they're going from the crust, which is the smallest layer in the earth, through the melted rock, and its mantle. Yeah, and so they're going here. And there's the mantle is the hot, and the outer core is melted metal, and the core of our earth, the inner core, is solid metal, and is 3,000 to 6,500 degrees Celsius. Very, very, very hot. Good thing the school bus is magical, huh? We were glad when Miss Frizzle headed out again. We reached the earth's crust and drove straight through the tunnel of black rock. It was great to see the sky. What's Inside the Earth by Ralph. Under the earth's crust, there are pockets of melted rock. Below this is the mantle, made of solid, hot rock. The outer core is the liquid metal and the very center of the earth is the inner core. It is a ball of solid metal. They went from there to there, and now they're bursting out. I'd be happy to be out of that. It was a very hot trip they just went on. When we looked around, we had come out from an island in the middle of the ocean. Isn't this wonderful, class? Said Frizzy. We had driven right...
Frizzle.
Well, this is Frizzy right here.